and I think somebody wants to take it from us, and I think it's really important that of all the things that you possess, you make sure what your choices are so that nobody ever takes your soul.
Where do you go next with some of your research, Joy?
Well, we're looking right now at some of the UFO frequency and lights and sound, because we think that the frequency, the lights, the blinking, the strobe effect, and some of the things where people are being hypnotized, there is a connectability to that, the pineal gland, and that there's some brainwashing going on through some of the new converter boxes, watching you, and the TVs and the new computers with the eyes. There's just so much that's going on right now, and the work that I'm doing, every day. It's I never leave my work. If I'm in a car, I've got something that I'm listening to, and of course, I just finished the abridged and updated edition of Eden on those 12 CDs. And I've added, several of the prophecies that we didn't even get to cover tonight, and that was in regard to St. Malach's prophecies regarding the popes and the end-time pope and who will be in place and why he'll be in place and all that. But since we did not get to that, if you're interested in that, then that's also included in my book, Eden. And if you didn't get to answer a question and you have a question, all you've got to do is go to my website, and my email address is there, and I'll be sure to answer the email. I answer all my emails, so it might take a little while, but I'll get to you.
Toronto, Canada, the international line. We've got Dean there. Hi, Dean.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Good.
Calling from home of the Avro Aero, Toronto, Canada. I have a few things to say. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous.
Sure, no,
I've done this before.
Relax, take it easy. Take a deep breath.
First off, I wanted to just say I actually built the only trademarked vehicle. I actually named the beast, but I don't roll like that. I kind of drive with a man upstairs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I have one quick question and then a comment, and I'll take the question off the air.
You got it.
Regarding to Prince Harry. I didn't quite understand. Was that...
Prince William.
Sorry, Prince William.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, was that... did you guys say that he was more likely the Antichrist or Jesus Christ?
Dr. Joy believes he might be the Antichrist.
Okay.
Is that right, Joy? I don't want to put words in your mouth. All right.
Okay. Now, my quick comment is, speaking of implants and rules being forced upon us and whatnot, my mom is a heart patient, and she just recently got out of the hospital, and she just refused some sort of testing where they were going to inject what sounded like nanotechnology into her to, I guess, their excuse was to go into her heart and see what was going on. So that's one thing. The other thing is I just wanted to quickly say that you guys were talking about banding together to fight all these things that they're forcing on us, all the new rules and whatnot on the human race. I'm actually in a big problem right now with the local police force, and anytime I try to tell everybody about what's going on, about all the things I've heard on Coast to Coast, they look at me like I'm a nutcase.
Well, you got to get them to listen, too. It's the highest listened to show in the country right now.
That's right.
I know.
I'm going to Vancouver. The big talker there, 1410, and we're huge in Vancouver. But look, here's one thing that you should tell your mother. I'm a staunch believer in modern medicine with natural supplements and taking care of yourself with alternative medicine. But real medicine is coming up with some incredible things, too. And, I would really want her to get checked out the best way she can medically. Even new technology, call it nanotechnology, can do some incredible things. I don't think they're there to put a chip in her tonight.
No, they're not. That chip that we're talking about has not. It's in the developmental stages, and like I even say, the Vera chip that is existed now that's inside of people is not the chip that will be the one that they will force on everyone.
Absolutely. So, tell her, Dean, tell her to, do what her doctor says and then back it up with some natural things, too. Put her on turmeric, by the way. It's a spice. That's a wonder drug for inflammation, which causes most of your problems in your heart. Galveston, Texas. Hello, Jane. Go ahead.
Hey. Oh, my gosh, I can't believe I made it to the phone. Thank you.
You made it.
Just a couple of quick points. Do you find it ironic that Diana had uncovered or had really brought to light about the buried landmines, the landmines issue.
And you know, that was one of her pet causes.
Yes, and so it was talked about that right after she did that, and the woman that she worked with to go ahead and expose this got the what was it, the Nobel Peace Prize or something.
All right.
And the interesting thing that what you're talking about, Joy, is also on a website called FEMA Camps, if anybody wants to see it. It's exactly what you're talking about. And other than that, I'd like to give a shout-out to my sisters, Judy, Priscilla, Kimberly, Lois, Polly. How are you doing, Jackson sisters? Anyway, all the best to you guys. Thanks so much.
Okay, lots of sisters there. I don't think Princess Diana was killed because of her landmine cause.
No, I just think that was something that she was very involved with. But I think she was trying to, when you're a part of something bad and you don't want to be a part of that bad, because she had tried to kill herself when she was carrying William several times. And I think that she was crying out to try to make people understand maybe that she was not a part of what was going to actually come down the pike. And I think she was trying her best to do everything she could to make people open their eyes. And I go back and I look at some of the things and listen to some of the tapes, and I'm like, I think she was trying to give us coded messages, and nobody was listening. Nobody was listening.
And I think the person she was talking about who won the Nobel Peace Prize laureate was Jody Williams, and that was in 1997 as well, for her work in, clearing fields, landmines. Let's go next to Jack in Santa Ana, California, west of the Rockies. Go ahead, Jack.
Good evening, Jack. Sorry. Good evening, George and Dr. Joy.
Sure.
Hi.
Wonderful information you're giving out here this evening, Joy, especially about these implants, these chips. I'm in the medical community myself, and for a long time, myself and my colleagues actually meet in private forums to discuss these things. And one of the things I've noticed that yourself and several other people have been on the show before discussing these matters, as far as the excuse or rationale for pushing these chips. And one of the things we came up with is saying, well, there's a question on the drug trade. Of course, that basically exists on transfers of large sums of cash.
Right.
And so for the safety thing or the rationale, the excuse, the persuasion would say, well, geez, when we do this little chip, and your child, yourself would have you see this at the same time would eliminate drug trade because there's no cash involved. Nobody can buy drugs. Nobody can sell drugs. So, gee, isn't that just a wonderful excuse?
You're not going to charge it, that's for sure.
Well, exactly, because, if you do, they'd know what you did and, be picked up for it, breaking law, et cetera. But it always comes down to the youth of the country. What we discussed several times with this is saying it's just a wonderful persuasion because, obviously, parents dealing with families and patients all day long are worried about these issues. So if the government, who have you, would come up with a thing of saying, well, see, this is one of the problems. This is one of the benefits. This is what this would solve.
Well, and that's how they're going to do it initially. They're going to get people involved. They're going to want them to feel as if we need this. And, same thing economically. When they start making this turn economically, they're going to be able to throw all kinds of things at us because by that time people will just be on their knees going, just help us.
That's right.
And that's the way it is. Joy, we're running out of time. Get your website out, would you?
Okay, it's www.drjoye, D-R-J-O-Y-E, that's joy with an E.com. And you can go to my website and show you where my books are at, and my email address is there, and you can sure email me, and I'll be trying to get back to you as soon as I can.
In 10 seconds, are we or are we not in end times now?
Oh, yes. And 2012 will be the beginning of it. 7 years will be 2019, and then that's when the oracle sites match the planetary sites in my book, and that ends it all. That's considered the apocalypse. You got it. For Kara Scoburn, Dan Galante, Tom Danheiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, Sean Ladesseur, Ross Mitchell, George Knapp, Ian Punnett, and Art Bell, I'm George Noory. Somewhere out there on Coast to Coast AM. We'll see you on our next edition. Until then, be safe, everyone.